What if every decision you made in a game actually mattered? What if choosing the wrong dialogue, trusting the wrong character, or building the wrong skill could completely ruin your playthrough? Today, we're diving into 13 brutal RPG games that punish every bad decision you make. These games don't forgive mistakes, they remember them, they track them, and eventually, they make you pay for them. Let's get started. Number 13 is Kingdom Come: Deliverance. In Kingdom Come: Deliverance, realism isn't just a feature, it's the core design philosophy. You play as Henry, a simple blacksmith's son who begins the game with almost no combat skills, no political influence, and barely any understanding of survival. Because of that, every decision you make carries real weight. If you rush into combat without proper training, you will lose fights quickly. Enemies block attacks, exploit stamina, and punish careless swings. Even outside combat, decisions matter constantly. Stealing items might seem easy at first, but guards remember your crimes, and townspeople treat you differently. If you neglect hygiene or walk into town covered in blood and dirt, NPCs may refuse to speak with you or give worse prices at shops. Choosing the wrong dialogue during quests can close off opportunities or anger important characters. Some quests even have time limits, meaning delaying a task could lead to failed outcomes or dead NPCs. The game constantly reminds you that medieval life was unforgiving, and bad decisions can snowball into serious consequences.
Obedience and endurance of all discomfort. These are the cornerstones and succor of our order, which on this day shall become your own.
And number 12 is Fallout New Vegas. In Fallout New Vegas, the Mojave Wasteland is built around reputation and consequence. Nearly every action you take influences how factions see you. Help the NCR too often, and the Legion may send assassins after you. Support Caesar's Legion, and entire towns aligned with the NCR might refuse to help you. These choices aren't cosmetic, they directly affect quests, companions, safe areas, and the ending of the story. One of the harshest punishments in the game is that many NPCs are permanently killable. If you accidentally kill an important quest character, that storyline might disappear forever. The game rarely stops you from making these mistakes, which makes every decision feel meaningful. Even dialogue choices matter because skill checks determine how situations unfold. A failed speech check could lead to combat, while a successful one might prevent a major conflict. By the time the final battle approaches, the alliances and enemies you created through dozens of small decisions determine the fate of the entire Mojave.
He always sings raggedy music to the cattle as he swings back and forward in his saddle on a horse that is syncopated. There is such a funny meter to the moral of his repeater how it runs. When they hear the fella's gone, because the western folks all know he's a highfalutin.
Number 11 is The Witcher 3: Wild Hunt. The Witcher 3: Wild Hunt is famous for its morally complex decision-making. Unlike many RPGs where choices are clearly good or evil, this game presents situations where both options can lead to painful consequences. Sometimes, helping someone leads to tragedy later, while refusing to intervene might save lives in unexpected ways. Many decisions appear minor when you first make them, but the consequences might not appear until hours later. Choosing how Geralt advises certain characters can alter entire storylines. A simple conversation with a troubled ruler or a misunderstood creature might determine whether villages survive or collapse into chaos. Some choices affect the relationships between characters, and others influence the game's multiple endings. Even side quests can have dramatic outcomes. Saving one person might doom another, while trusting someone could lead to betrayal. The game constantly challenges players to consider the long-term effects of their actions, making every dialogue choice feel heavy with responsibility.
Nilfgaard's crossed the Pontar in the east. Means war's coming.
War changes everything.
By order of the Hierarch, whosoever conceals a mage in their home shall burn alongside him or her.
Nilfgaard on one bank, Redania on the other, drooling over the city like dogs over a juicy bone.
And number 10 is Darkest Dungeon. In Darkest Dungeon, the real enemy isn't just monsters, it's stress. The game's core mechanic revolves around the psychological pressure placed on your heroes. Every bad decision you make slowly pushes your party toward mental collapse. If you bring the wrong team composition into a dungeon, the enemies will exploit those weaknesses. Characters placed in incorrect positions may lose access to their best abilities. Meanwhile, constant battles increase stress levels. Once stress reaches dangerous levels, heroes can develop negative traits like paranoia, selfishness, or fear, causing them to refuse commands or sabotage teammates. The consequences escalate quickly. A single failed expedition can leave characters traumatized, diseased, or permanently scarred. If a hero dies, they're gone forever. Losing a well-trained hero after investing hours into leveling them is one of the most punishing experiences the game delivers. The pressure forces players to plan carefully before every expedition, because reckless decisions often end in disaster.
There is a great horror beneath the manor. A crawling chaos that must be destroyed. The task ahead is terrible. And weakness cannot be tolerated.
Number 8 is Divinity Original Sin 2. Divinity Original Sin 2 gives players incredible freedom, but that freedom comes with serious consequences. Nearly every NPC in the world can be attacked, robbed, or manipulated, and the game will respond dynamically to those actions. For example, stealing from a merchant might seem like an easy way to get powerful gear early on, but if you're caught, the entire town might turn hostile. Attack the wrong character, and guards will swarm you instantly. Even companions have their own motivations and personal quests. If you make decisions that go against their beliefs, they might leave your party or even fight you later in the story. Combat itself is extremely tactical. Enter a battle with poor positioning or without preparing the environment, and the enemy can wipe your party quickly. Because the game uses elemental surfaces like fire, poison, and electricity, a single mistake can cause chain reactions that devastate your entire team. The game constantly rewards smart planning and punishes careless decisions.
At number 8 is Elden Ring. In Elden Ring, the punishment for bad decisions often comes from both gameplay mechanics and hidden quest lines. Character builds are extremely important. If you invest points into the wrong stats or upgrade weapons that don't suit your playstyle, the game becomes significantly harder. NPC quests are another area where mistakes can have lasting effects. Many characters appear briefly in obscure locations, and missing those encounters can permanently end their quest lines. Some quests require very specific actions at particular moments in the game. If you progress too far without completing those steps, certain storylines simply disappear.
But should ye fail to become aught at all, ye will be forsaken, amounting only to sacrifices.
At number 7 is Disco Elysium. Disco Elysium transforms traditional RPG mechanics into psychological storytelling. Instead of focusing on combat, the game revolves around dialogue, investigation, and internal thoughts represented by different personality traits. Every skill in the game acts like a voice in the detective's mind. Investing too heavily in certain traits can dramatically change how conversations unfold. For example, a high authority skill might push you to intimidate people, while a high empathy encourages emotional understanding. These internal voices constantly influence decisions. Failing skill checks can lead to embarrassing, hilarious, or disastrous outcomes. Your character might insult a crucial witness, ruin an interrogation, or suffer a mental breakdown during a conversation. Some failures even result in your detective passing out or damaging relationships with important characters. Because the game autosaves frequently and discourages constant reloading, you're forced to live with the consequences of those failures.
In the great city, at the end of the world, there's a dead body behind the hostile cafeteria, and a strike that's about to become a war.
At number 6 is Pathfinder: Right of the Righteous. Pathfinder is one of the most complex RPG systems ever adapted into a video game. Character creation alone contains dozens of classes, archetypes, spells, and abilities. Making poor choices early in the build process can result in a character who struggles later in the campaign. The game's strategic layer adds even more consequences. Players must manage armies during a massive crusade against demonic forces. Poor tactical decisions during these battles can cause entire armies to collapse, weakening your position in the war. Story decisions also shape the world through mythic paths, which dramatically alter your character's powers and moral alignment. Choosing one path over another changes how NPCs react and which endings become possible. Because the campaign is extremely long, mistakes made in the early stages can follow you for dozens of hours.
The world wound, a cursed land that threatens all life. Not a wasteland or the site of a natural disaster, but an abscess through which the mortal world bleeds into the abyss. 100 years ago, this realm was teeming with life. Gardens flourished and cities thrived here.
At number 5 is Baldur's Gate 3. Baldur's Gate 3 takes the unpredictability of tabletop role-playing games and turns it into a fully interactive world. Dice rolls determine the outcome of many actions, meaning even well-planned decisions can fail unexpectedly. Conversations often contain hidden skill checks that determine whether situations escalate peacefully or turn violent. A failed persuasion roll could trigger a massive battle. Trusting the wrong character could lead to betrayal later in the story. Companions also react strongly to your actions. If your decisions conflict with their beliefs, they might lose trust in you or even leave the party permanently. Some choices can completely reshape major story events, altering which factions survive and which regions fall into chaos. Because the game tracks so many variables, each playthrough becomes a different version of the story.
My life was dismantled piece by piece. And when I tried to buy it back, it cost me everything. I must finish what I started. Death's design will be complete.
Discover Gedric's secret. Find out what it is that makes him invincible so we can strip him of it.
At number 4 is Kenshi. Kenshi drops players into a brutal sandbox world with almost no guidance. There is no chosen hero and no scripted path to success. Your characters begin weak and vulnerable, and the world around them is filled with dangerous factions, slavers, and monstrous creatures. One poor decision can lead to devastating consequences. If your squad attacks a stronger enemy group, they might be knocked unconscious, captured, or sold into slavery. Recovering from such setbacks can take hours of gameplay. The economy and survival systems demand careful planning. Running out of food, wandering into hostile territory, or attempting to build a base in the wrong location can destroy your progress. But the game treats these failures as part of the story. Every scar, lost limb, and escape from captivity become a memorable chapter in your journey.
Number 3 is Wasteland 3. In Wasteland 3, leadership decisions often involve choosing between two equally painful outcomes. The game constantly presents dilemmas where helping one group inevitably harms another. For example, you may need to decide whether to protect a settlement or pursue a dangerous criminal. Choosing one option means the other situation will spiral out of control. These decisions shape how factions perceive your rangers and determine who supports you during the final stages of the story. Companions also respond to your moral choices. Some characters may approve of harsh decisions, while others may become angry or distrustful. Over time, these reactions can influence loyalty in future events. Because the narrative branches heavily based on your actions, every decision contributes to the political balance of the region.
Hello everyone out there in the Wasteland. On today's show I want to talk to you about our world.
I must have dreamed 1,000 dreams.
The world you see now is a very scary place.
And haunted by a million screams.
Democracy, equality, and freedom all died when the bombs fell.
At number 2 is Tyranny. Tyranny flips the traditional RPG formula by placing you on the side of a conquering empire. Instead of fighting against evil, you are enforcing the rule of an authoritarian overlord. Your role as a Fatebinder gives you authority to judge disputes and enforce laws across conquered territories. These judgments determine how different factions evolve. Supporting one faction might strengthen their influence, while punishing another could push them toward rebellion. The political consequences ripple throughout the story. Cities may thrive or collapse depending on your decisions. Characters remember how you treated them, and alliances shift constantly. Because the game tracks these outcomes so closely, each playthrough becomes a different version of the Empire's history.
For centuries, Kairos the Overlord has conquered the known world. Dissent has been quelled. And those who once boasted of their right to rule are forced to kneel. In Kairos' empire, the execution of justice is paramount.
At number 1, the Banner Saga stands out for its relentless consequences. The game follows a caravan of survivors traveling through a collapsing world inspired by Norse mythology. Every decision you make as a leader affects the survival of your people. Resources such as food and morale must be carefully managed. Taking the wrong path across the map might lead to starvation or exhaustion. Events along the journey frequently force you to make difficult choices, like deciding whether to trust strangers or punish criminals within your group. The most brutal aspect of the game is that important characters can die permanently based on these decisions. A moment of poor judgment can remove a powerful ally or beloved companion from the story forever. Even victories in battle sometimes lead to tragic consequences, reinforcing the idea that leadership during a crisis always comes with sacrifice.
I dreamt we never left home. We never had to run. We never had to kill. Why are we alive?
RPGs are at their best when choices truly matter. When the wrong decision doesn't just reload a checkpoint, it changes the story. It reshapes the world, and sometimes it makes you live with the consequences. So, which RPG punished your decisions the most? Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more updates. And click here for 13 story games that will leave you empty inside. See you in the next video.